Hello, and welcome to Black History for Sleep. Tonight, we journey back in time to a world of profound change and enduring spirit. We will not focus on the clash of armies or the politics of nations. Instead, we will settle into the quiet interior world of a single soul, a young man on the cusp of a journey that will forever shape him. Our story tonight is about resilience, the kind that is not loud, but is felt in the steady beat of a hopeful heart. It is a story of brotherhood, of quiet dignity, and of the dreams you hold on to when the world around you is in flux. So find your place of rest now. Let your body grow heavy. Your limbs feel soft and supported. Allow the weight of the day to drift away, released with each gentle breath. Inhale calm and exhale tension. Inhale peace and exhale the noise of the present. Let my voice be a gentle guide, a soft current to carry you into a deep and restorative sleep. You are safe here, you are respected, and your rest is sacred. Now, close your eyes and let us begin. You are sitting on the front steps of the brownstone. The evening air in Harlem is thick with the promise of summer, a soft, warm blanket settling over the city. The sun has just dipped below the rooftops, leaving the sky a wash of deep violet and soft, bruised orange. Street lamps are beginning to flicker to life, casting long, gentle shadows on the pavement. You can hear the city breathing around you, a symphony of distant sounds, the tired clatter of a horse-drawn cart making its last delivery of the day. The faint, joyful cry of children playing stickball down the block, their game illuminated by the golden light spilling from a corner store. And beneath it all, the low, steady hum of a million lives unfolding. You lean back. The cool, worn stone of the steps is a familiar comfort against your back. You trace the crack in the concrete with the toe of your worn leather shoe. A tiny river delta you've known since you were a boy. This is your world. These steps, this street, this vibrant, pulsing neighborhood. A city within a city, humming with energy and ambition. From the open window of the parlor behind you, you can hear the low murmur of your parents' voices. The sound is a comfort, a steady rhythm that has underscored your entire life. You can't make out the words, but you know their cadence. Your father's voice, a low, thoughtful rumble. Your mother's, a little higher, a melody of concern and strength. And from another window, somewhere down the street, someone is playing the piano. It's not the wild, energetic jazz that will soon define this era. Not yet. This is something slower, more soulful. It's ragtime, but played with a gentle, searching touch. Each note hangs in the warm air for a moment, a little blue spark of sound, before another follows. The music seems to be playing just for you, a soundtrack to this quiet, reflective moment. You breathe in deep, and the air is full of the smells of home. The rich, savory scent of chicken frying in a cast-iron skillet drifting from your own kitchen. The faint, sweet perfume of the honeysuckle that crawls up the iron railing beside you. The dusty, mineral smell of the city itself. A smell of concrete, coal smoke, and possibility. Your hands are resting on your knees, and you look at them in the fading light. They are strong hands, capable hands, not the soft hands of a child anymore. There are calluses on your palms from working at the docks, from lifting and carrying, from honest, hard labor. But tonight, they feel still, they feel ready for something, though you do not yet know what. A letter arrived today. It sits on the small table in the hallway, just inside the door. You haven't opened it, but you know what it is. Everyone on the block knows. The news has been moving through the neighborhood like a current. A whispered conversation in the grocery store. A solemn nod between men on the street corner. War. A war across an ocean so vast you can barely imagine it. A war in a place called France. And they are calling for men. They are calling for you. You feel a strange mix of emotions, a quiet swirl in your chest. There is a hum of apprehension, yes, a fear of the unknown. But it is not a loud, panicked fear. It is a deep, quiet question mark. Beneath that, there is something else. A flicker of something that feels like pride, a sense of duty, a chance to prove something, not just for yourself, but for your family, for your people, to show the world what you are made of, to be a part of something vast, something historic. Your mother doesn't want you to go. You heard it in the soft melody of her voice tonight. Her fear is a tangible thing, a protective cloak she wants to wrap around you. Your father. He is more quiet. He understands the danger, but he also understands the hope. He knows that this is a chance to demand respect, to earn a citizenship that has been promised but never fully given. He sees the uniform as a symbol, a claim on the future. You close your eyes for a moment, just listening to the piano music, to the distant laughter, to the silence between your parents' words. You remember the stories your grandfather used to tell, stories of his father who was born into bondage. He spoke of a resilience so deep it was like the roots of an ancient tree, a quiet strength that could not be broken. He taught you that dignity is not something that is given to you by others. It is something you carry inside yourself, a steady, internal flame that no one can extinguish. You feel that flame inside you now, a small, warm ember in the center of your chest. You are not a warrior. You are a young man who loves the sound of piano music on a summer evening, who knows the exact rhythm of his own city, who feels the steady love of his family in the very air he breathes. But you know, as you sit here on these cool stone steps, that you will answer the call. You will fold up this world, this Harlem evening, and tuck it away in a safe corner of your heart. You will carry the scent of honeysuckle, the sound of your mother's voice, the feeling of these worn steps with you. You push yourself to your feet, slowly. The piano music seems to swell for a moment, a final lingering chord that hangs in the air like a question. You walk to the door. Your hand rests on the cool brass knob. You turn it and step inside, into the warm yellow light of the hallway. The letter is there, waiting, and you are ready to meet your future. You feel a sense of calm settle over you, the calm of a decision made. The path ahead is unknown, but you will walk it with the strength of all who came before you. And as you drift now, deeper into your own rest, you can feel that quiet strength filling you, a peaceful, a steady, unbreakable spirit, a gentle lullaby for a deep and profound sleep. Sleep now, sleep. The world becomes the rhythm of the train, a steady, hypnotic clatter of steel on steel, da-dum, 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 da-dum. It's a heartbeat, a mechanical pulse that has been beating for days. You are heading south, away from the familiar embrace of New York, towards a training camp in a place you've only ever heard stories about. Spartanburg, South Carolina. You have a seat by the window, and you watch America unfold. The dense vertical city of Harlem gives way to sprawling suburbs, then to rolling hills and wide open fields. The greens are different here, richer, deeper. The sky seems bigger, a vast, endless canvas of pale blue. The train car is filled with other young men, just like you. They are from all over, from Philadelphia and Chicago, from Boston and Pittsburgh, men who, just weeks ago, were working in factories, on docks, in stockyards. Now, you are all dressed in the simple, rough-spun fabric of new recruits. You are all heading to the same unknown destination. You are a new kind of congregation, a brotherhood being forged in the gentle, rocking cradle of this train. At first, the conversations were loud and boisterous, full of bravado and jokes, men bragging about the sweethearts they left behind, boasting about what they would do over there. But now, after so many miles, a comfortable quiet has settled over the car. It's a silence filled with the soft rustle of a newspaper, the quiet scratch of a pencil on paper as a man writes a letter home, the low melodic hum of a gospel tune someone is humming in the back of the car. You lean your head against the cool glass of the window. The vibrations of the train travel through the glass, through your skull, a gentle rhythmic massage. You watch the telephone poles flash by, one after another, each one a fleeting marker of your progress, of the distance growing between who you were and who you are becoming. The smells in the car are a mix of coal smoke from the engine, the faint, clean scent of lye soap, and the warm, human smell of bodies sitting close together. Someone unwraps a parcel from home, and for a moment, the car is filled with the glorious scent of gingerbread or a baked apple. And a wave of quiet nostalgia washes over everyone, a shared, unspoken memory of home. You see faces in the shifting landscape outside, in the passing clouds, in the gnarled bark of an ancient oak tree. You see your mother's face, her brow furrowed with worry but her eyes full of pride. You see your father, his quiet, reassuring nod. The man sitting next to you is named Silas. He's from Chicago. He's taller than you, with hands that look like they could palm a basketball. But his voice is surprisingly gentle. He doesn't say much, but when he does, it's thoughtful. He points out the window. "Look at that," he says, his voice a low rumble. You look. A lone farmhouse sits on a small hill, a plume of white smoke rising from its chimney. It looks peaceful, timeless, like a painting. "Makes you think," Silas says, to no one in particular, "what we're fighting for." You nod, even though you're not sure he's talking to you. You know what he means. It's not just for that farmhouse. It's for the idea of it. The idea of home, of peace. A peace you can return to. A peace you will have earned the right to enjoy, fully and without question. As evening falls, the setting sun paints the inside of the train car in hues of gold and rose. The light catches the dust motes dancing in the air, turning them into a swirling galaxy of tiny, glittering stars. The men's faces are softened by the warm light, their expressions thoughtful and serene. The humming in the back of the car has been joined by another voice, then another. They are singing now. A low, beautiful harmony. It's a spiritual, a song of hope and endurance. Swing low, sweet chariot. The voices are not loud, they are soft, weaving together, creating a blanket of sound that wraps around you. It's a sound of shared history, of a faith that has carried your people through unimaginable trials. The music fills the spaces between the clatter of the wheels, smoothing out the rhythm, turning it into a gentle lullaby. Comin' for to carry me home. You close your eyes, and you let the music wash over you. You are not just a single man on a train. You are part of this choir, this river of men flowing towards a single purpose. You feel the vibration of the song in your chest, a warmth that spreads through your entire body. The gentle rocking of the train, the deep, resonant harmony of the men's voices, the soft, fading light. It all conspires to pull you toward the edge of sleep. You are being carried, not just by the train, but by this moment, by this brotherhood. You feel safe, held. The uncertainty of the destination seems to fade away, replaced by the deep, peaceful certainty of this journey. Right here, right now. You are on your way, moving forward, rocked gently by the motion and the music, drifting, floating, on a current of peace, into a deep and healing sleep. Sleep. Now. The air in South Carolina is different. It's thick, humid, heavy with the scent of pine needles and damp earth. A stark contrast to the crisp, bustling air of Harlem. Your new home is Camp Wadsworth, a sprawling city of tents and simple wooden barracks laid out in meticulous, orderly rows under the tall, swaying pines. Life here is governed by the sound of a bugle. It wakes you in the pre-dawn chill, its clear, sharp notes cutting through the morning mist. It calls you to meals, to drills, to the end of the day. At first, the sound is jarring, an unwelcome intrusion, but soon it becomes the rhythm of your new life, a predictable, steady metronome that you begin to rely on. Your days are filled with the hard, physical work of becoming a soldier. Long marches under the hot southern sun, the dust kicking up from 1,000 marching feet, creating a fine red-brown powder that covers everything. But you find a kind of peace in the rhythm of the march. Left, right, left, right. Your mind goes quiet, focused only on the sound of your boots hitting the packed earth, on the feel of the rifle strap digging gently into your shoulder, on the steady breathing of the men in front of and behind you. You are no longer a collection of individuals. You are a single, moving organism, a long, khaki-colored centipede inching its way across the landscape. There is a strange comfort in this anonymity, in being a part of something larger than yourself, your uniform. At first it feels stiff and foreign. The wool is itchy, the collar too tight. But day by day, it becomes your second skin. You learn the ritual of caring for it, brushing it down, polishing the brass buttons until they gleam like small personal suns. There is a pride in it. When you wear it, you stand a little straighter. The white officers, they are a distant presence. They live in a separate world, a world of clipped commands and cool, appraising glances. They do not see you. They see a number, a cog in the great machine. Their words are often sharp, their expectations impossibly high. But you do not let their coldness touch the core of you. The warmth you need, you find it here, with your brothers. In the evenings, the barracks becomes a sanctuary. The air grows cooler, and the soft golden light of lanterns fills the long wooden room. The sounds of the day, the shouting of sergeants, the sharp crack of rifles on the practice range, fade away. They are replaced by the sounds of brotherhood, the soft strum of a makeshift guitar, crafted from a cigar box and wire, the low murmur of conversations, men sharing stories of home in hushed tones, the quiet scratch of a pen as you write a letter to your mother, trying to find the words to tell her that you are okay, that you are strong, without worrying her. You tell her about the sky, how you've never seen so many stars. You tell her about the food, how it's not as good as hers, but it fills your belly. You don't tell her about the crushing exhaustion at the end of the day, or the cold ache in your bones from sleeping on a thin cot. You don't tell her about the sting of disrespect. You fold that part of your life away. You write about Silas, your friend from the train. You write about a man named Frenchy from New Orleans, who can make a harmonica sound like a whole orchestra. He plays the blues, slow, mournful tunes that seem to understand the unspoken sadness in every man's heart. But then, he'll switch to a lively, joyful tune that gets everyone's feet tapping. These moments are your shield. The shared laughter that erupts when someone tells a funny story. The quiet nod of understanding from a man who feels the same bone-deep homesickness you do. The simple act of sharing a piece of chocolate sent from home. One evening, you are sitting on your cot, cleaning your rifle. The motions are automatic now. You could do it in your sleep. You methodically rub the oil into the cool, dark steel, feeling the smooth, satisfying weight of it in your hands. Frenchy is playing his harmonica, a slow, sweet melody that wanders through the barracks like a gentle stream. You close your eyes just for a moment, and you are not in a barracks in South Carolina. You are back on your stoop in Harlem. You can smell the honeysuckle. You can hear the ragtime piano. You can feel the cool stone beneath you. The memory is so vivid, so real. It's like a secret garden you can retreat to inside your own mind. You have learned to build this garden, to tend to it carefully. It is where you keep the things that matter, the love of your family, the sounds of your neighborhood, the quiet dignity your grandfather taught you about. This camp, this training, it is designed to break you down, to strip away your individuality and rebuild you as a soldier. But they cannot reach this garden. They cannot touch the steady, internal flame of your spirit. Here, in the quiet moments between the bugle calls, you are not just becoming a soldier. You are becoming yourself, in a way you never have before. You are learning the true measure of your own strength, a strength that is quiet, resilient, and entirely your own. And as you lay your head down on your thin pillow tonight, the last notes of Frenchy's harmonica fade into the gentle chorus of crickets outside the window. the rhythm of the camp, the breathing of the sleeping men around you. It all becomes a gentle, soothing hum. You are part of this rhythm, part of this quiet strength, and you feel yourself letting go, drifting into a deep and well-earned sleep, held safely in the heart of this newfound brotherhood. Sleep, sleep now. The ship is a world unto itself, a floating city of steel and steam, suspended between two endless blues, the blue of the sky above and the deep, mysterious blue of the Atlantic Ocean below. For days, the only thing you have seen is this vast, unbroken expanse of water. The horizon is a perfect, clean line, a constant reminder of how far you are from any solid ground. The journey has a rhythm, just like the train, just like the camp. But this rhythm is slower, deeper. It's the constant, low thrum of the ship's massive engines. A vibration you feel in the soles of your feet, in the very bones of your body. And it's the gentle, ceaseless roll of the waves, a slow rocking motion that never stops. At first, many of the men were sick, their bodies rebelling against the ocean's sway. But now, you have all found your sea legs. The rolling of the ship has become a comfort, a gentle, watery cradle. You are assigned to the 369th Infantry Regiment. The papers and the white officers call you colored troops. But among yourselves, you are the men from Harlem, from Chicago, from all across the nation, bound together. You are forging an identity here, on the high seas. Your bunk is deep in the belly of the ship, a cramped, crowded space filled with the smell of diesel, sweat, and salt water. But you spend as much time as you can on the deck. You find a spot near the stern, leaning against the railing, and you watch the ship's wake, a wide, churning trail of white foam that stretches back towards a home you can no longer see. It's mesmerizing, the way the water froths and swirls before being swallowed back up by the deep blue. The sea air is sharp and clean, tasting of salt. It whips your hair and feels cool against your skin. It feels like it's washing away the dust of South Carolina, preparing you for whatever comes next. Sometimes a pod of dolphins will appear, their sleek gray bodies leaping from the waves in joyful, impossible arcs. The men all rush to the railings to watch, their faces full of a childlike wonder. For a few moments, you are not soldiers heading to war. You are just men, witnessing a miracle of the natural world. A moment of pure, unscripted grace. The nights are the most profound. Far from the lights of any city, the sky becomes a revelation, a vast black velvet cloth, punctured with a million brilliant, diamond-hard points of light. You have never seen the stars like this. The Milky Way is a luminous, shimmering river, a celestial echo of the Mississippi or the Hudson. You stand on the deck with Silas and Frenchy, your shoulders nearly touching. You don't speak. There is no need for words. You just look up, humbled by the sheer, silent immensity of it all. The scale of it all, the endless ocean below, the infinite sky above. It should make you feel small, insignificant. But instead, it has the opposite effect. It makes your own inner world feel more focused, more precious. The memories you carry, the love for your family, the bond with these men beside you. These things feel solid and real, anchors in this vast, shifting world. One night, a dense fog rolls in. It swallows the ship completely. You cannot see the stars. You cannot see the water. There is only the ship, a ghost floating in a world of soft, gray emptiness. The only sounds are the creak of the ship's hull and the mournful, low blast of the foghorn. A lonely, searching sound. It feels like you are floating in a dream, a space between worlds. You are gathered in a sheltered corner of the deck, huddled together for warmth. To break the strange, heavy silence, Frenchy takes out his harmonica. He doesn't play the blues tonight. He plays a gospel tune, something slow and full of hope. Amazing Grace. The sound is small against the vastness of the fog, but it is clear and pure. The simple melody cuts through the damp gray air. It is a light in the darkness. One by one, other men begin to hum along. A low, resonant chorus that joins the harmonica. The sound swells, a quiet act of defiance against the disorienting fog. You are here. You are together. You are not lost. You close your eyes, and you let the music and the gentle rocking of the ship carry you. You feel the warmth of Silas beside you, a solid, reassuring presence. You feel the collective strength of these men, a quiet, unbreakable chain of souls. You are suspended in this moment, in this fog, in this music. Time seems to stop. There is no past, no future, only the gentle sway of the ship, the soulful cry of the harmonica, and the deep, steady hum of your brothers' voices. It is a moment of perfect peace, a peace found in the most unlikely of places, in the heart of the ocean, on the way to war, and you have found a pocket of serenity. You hold on to this feeling, this sense of being safely held in a cradle of sound and motion, and as you let your mind drift, you feel yourself being rocked gently, gently into a deep, profound sleep. A sleep as deep and as peaceful as the ocean itself. Sleep. Now. Sleep. The first sight of land is a smudge on the horizon, a faint gray-green line that slowly resolves into the coast of France. As the ship glides into the port of Brest, a new world reveals itself. The buildings are different, older. They are made of stone, with steep slate-gray roofs. They look like they have grown out of the earth itself, ancient and stoic. The air smells different, too. Gone is the pure, sharp salt of the open ocean. It's replaced by a complex blend of smells, the scent of damp stone, of baking bread, of unfamiliar spices, and the low, pervasive smell of the harbor, a mix of fish and tar and diesel. You stand on the deck, your hands gripping the railing, and you just watch. People move along the docks. Their clothes are different. Their movements are different. And the language. It's a beautiful, flowing river of sound. You can't understand a word, but you love the music of it. Bonjour. Merci. S'il vous plaît. The words float up to the ship like soft, curious birds. Disembarking is a slow, orderly process. You walk down the gangplank, and when your feet touch the solid stone of the pier, it feels strange. After weeks at sea, the ground feels unnervingly still. You feel yourself swaying slightly, your body still remembering the motion of the waves. The people of the town, they stop to watch you. They line the streets as you and your regiment march towards the transit camp. Their faces are not filled with the coldness or suspicion you have grown so used to in America. Instead, they are filled with curiosity and something else, gratitude. They are war-weary. You can see it in their eyes, in the tired lines around their mouths. But as you pass, they smile. Small, genuine smiles. A woman holds up her young child, who waves a tiny, hesitant hand. An old man takes off his cap, a gesture of respect. For the first time in your life, you feel like you are being seen not as a problem, not as something less than, but as a symbol of hope, as liberators. The feeling is new, and it settles deep in your chest, a surprising warmth. You march through the narrow cobblestone streets. The sound of your boots is sharp and loud in the enclosed spaces. You look up at the tall, narrow houses, and you see faces in the windows. More smiles. Someone throws a flower, a single bright red poppy that lands at the feet of the man in front of you. He stoops to pick it up, a look of stunned surprise on his face. He tucks it into the strap of his pack. Your new temporary camp is in a field just outside the town. The French countryside is a revelation. It's a patchwork of impossible greens. Rolling hills dotted with sleepy stone farmhouses and thick, ancient-looking forests. The air is clean and smells of grass and wildflowers. The work begins almost immediately. You are not sent to the front lines, not yet. First, there is the work of logistics. Your regiment, like so many other black units, is assigned to the service of supply. You spend your days unloading ships, a long human chain of men, passing crates and sacks from the belly of a cargo vessel, to the docks, to the waiting trucks and trains. It is back-breaking work. Your muscles ache in ways you didn't know they could. The days are long, from sunup to sundown. But there is a dignity in it. You are the foundation. You are building the infrastructure that makes the entire war effort possible. Without you, without this sweat, without this strength, the machine would grind to a halt. You find a rhythm in the work, the heave of a heavy crate onto your shoulder, the steady walk across the pier, the gentle release as you add it to the growing stack. Lift, walk, place, return. And in this rhythm, you find community. You sing as you work, the same songs you sang on the train, the same ones you hummed in the barracks. Work songs, spirituals, songs of home. The music turns the labor into a kind of dance, a shared rhythmic effort. The French workers on the docks often stop to listen, their faces breaking into wide, appreciative smiles. They call you the singing soldiers. In the evenings, you collapse onto your cot, every muscle humming with fatigue. But it is a good fatigue, an honest exhaustion. The feeling of having done a hard day's work, and done it well. Sometimes, a few of you will walk to the edge of the camp and just look out over the French countryside as the sun sets. The sky bleeds with color, orange, pink, purple. The fields are quiet, peaceful. It's hard to believe that somewhere, not too far from here, there is a war on. This place, France. It is a land of contradictions, of ancient beauty and modern warfare, of weary people and surprising warmth. You lie on your back, your hands behind your head, and you look up at the canvas roof of your tent. You can hear the soft murmur of French from the nearby village, the gentle lowing of a distant cow, the chirping of crickets. You feel a profound sense of distance. You are so far from Harlem, so far from everything you have ever known, but you do not feel lost. You feel more present. Your world has become this small patch of French soil, this tent, this brotherhood. You have learned to find peace not in a place, but in a feeling, in the rhythm of hard work, in the beauty of a shared song, in the quiet gratitude of a stranger's smile. You are being remade by this new world, this new soil. You are becoming stronger, broader, your spirit deepening like a well. And as the gentle foreign sounds of the French night lull you, you feel your body grow heavy, your mind grow still. You are letting go, drifting, floating on a tide of peaceful exhaustion into a deep, restorative sleep. The days settle into a long flowing river of work. Your home base moves, following the needs of the army. You are stationed near a rail yard now, a massive, sprawling network of iron tracks that crisscross the muddy fields. Your job is to build and repair the arteries of the war. You lay track, hammering massive spikes into wooden ties. You dig ditches for drainage, your shovel biting into the thick, clay-rich soil of France. You unload train cars filled with everything a modern army needs: ammunition, rations, lumber, steel. Your hands, which had calluses from the docks back home, are now like carved wood, hard, tough, and immensely capable. You have learned the language of tools, the satisfying thud of a sledgehammer hitting a spike just right, the grating song of a handsaw cutting through timber. The work is relentless. It is often cold, a damp, penetrating cold that seeps into your bones. Rain turns the ground into a thick, sucking mud that tries to steal the boots from your feet. The white officers who oversee the work still see you as beasts of burden. They sit in their warm tents drinking coffee while you labor in the rain. Their presence is a constant low-grade irritation, a reminder of the world you came from. But you have learned to build a world within their world. You have learned to find your dignity not in their praise, which never comes, but in the work itself. You find it in the perfection of a well-laid section of track, smooth and true. You find it in the sheer impressive height of a pyramid of supply crates you have built, each one perfectly aligned. You take pride in your strength, in your endurance. You are the engine of this army, and you know it, even if they will never admit it. Your conversations are about the work. You learn from the older men, men who laid track for railroads in the American South. They teach you the tricks, how to use leverage to lift something twice your weight, how to pace yourself so you don't burn out by midday. There is a man in your crew, a quiet, wiry man from Alabama named Moses. He is a master of rhythm. When you have to move a heavy rail, a task that requires 10 men, Moses becomes the conductor. He doesn't shout, he sings. He starts a low, guttural chant, with a call and response that is as old as the hills. Ho! Up! He'll sing out, his voice a low growl, and on the up, 10 men will strain together, and the massive rail will lift an inch from the ground. He! Set! He'll chant, and the rail will move, settling into its new position with a satisfying thud. The officers think it's just noise. They don't understand. They don't see that the song is a tool. It is a way of synchronizing muscle and will. It is a way of turning a dangerous, difficult task into a sacred, shared ritual. It is a way of reminding you that you are not machines. You are men. Men with souls. And with music. In the small moments of rest, you find grace. The 10 minutes you are given mid-morning, you find a dry spot to sit, you lean back against a stack of lumber, and you close your eyes. The sun on your face feels like a blessing. The midday meal, a simple stew ladled from a massive pot into your tin mess kit, tastes like the most delicious food on earth. You eat slowly, savoring the warmth as it spreads through your belly. You share your bread with a man who has none. He will share his tobacco with you later. This is the unspoken currency of your world. One afternoon, you are working near a road that is used by French civilians. An old woman, her back bent with age, is trying to push a wooden cart with a wobbly wheel up a small hill. She is struggling, her face strained with effort. Your supervising officer is not looking. Without a word, you and Silas walk over to her. You don't speak her language, and she doesn't speak yours, but none is needed. You smile a gentle, reassuring smile. She looks at you, her eyes wary at first, then softening. You and Silas each take a side of the cart, and with an easy, synchronized push, you help her to the top of the hill. She stops and turns to you. Her face is a road map of wrinkles. She reaches into her apron pocket and pulls out 2 small, slightly bruised apples. She presses one into your hand and one into Silas's. She speaks to you in rapid, musical French. You don't understand the words, but you understand the meaning perfectly. Her eyes are shining with tears. She is thanking you. You just nod and smile. Merci, you say, using one of the few words you know. You and Silas walk back to your work site, shining the apples on your rough wool sleeves. The officer shouts at you for leaving your post. You don't care. You have been paid for your labor in a currency he will never understand. You bite into the apple. It's crisp and sweet and tastes of the French soil. It tastes like human kindness. You lie on your cot that night, your body aching with the good deep ache of labor. You are tired, but you are not weary. Your spirit is not tired. You think of Moses' song, of the shared meal, of the old woman's grateful eyes. These are the things that sustain you, these small daily acts of grace and brotherhood. You are not just enduring this life, you are living it. You are finding meaning and beauty and dignity in the mud and the rain. You are building more than just railroads. You are building a fortress of the spirit, one that is strong and true and unbreakable. And as the exhaustion of the day finally claims you, you feel your body sinking into your cot, your mind letting go of the world. You are drifting now on the slow, peaceful river of sleep, a deep sleep earned by the honest work of your hands. Sleep, now, sleep. You are moving closer. The signs are subtle at first, the endless columns of trucks you see on the roads, not carrying supplies anymore, but carrying men with haunted, hollow eyes, heading away from the direction you are going. The roads themselves are more crowded, more chaotic. You see more French soldiers, poilus they call them, the hairy ones. Their blue-gray uniforms caked with mud, their faces hidden under their steel helmets. They look at you with a kind of weary camaraderie. They know where you are heading. And then there is the sound. You hear it for the first time on a quiet, overcast afternoon. You are taking a rest break. sitting by the side of a road. You hear what you think is thunder, a low, deep, continuous rumble, far away on the horizon. But there are no storm clouds in the sky. Silas looks at you, his eyes wide. "You hear that?" he asks, his voice barely a whisper. You nod. It's the guns, the artillery, the front. It's a sound unlike anything you have ever heard. It's not a series of distinct booms. It's a constant, vibrating pressure in the air. A sound you feel in your chest, in the pit of your stomach. It's the sound of the world tearing itself apart, but from a great distance. From that day on, the sound is always there, a constant companion on the edge of your hearing. Sometimes it's louder, a deep, angry growling. Sometimes it's just a faint, almost imperceptible tremor, but it never goes away. It becomes the new soundtrack to your life, the backdrop to every meal, every conversation, every attempt at sleep. It is a strange and unsettling lullaby. One day you are given a new assignment. A small detachment, including you and Frenchie, is sent to a field hospital a few miles behind the main lines. Your job is to help expand it, to dig new latrines and build more tent platforms for the wounded who are constantly arriving. Here, the war is no longer an abstract sound. It has a face and a smell. The smell of antiseptic, of blood, and of fear. You do your work with a quiet, focused intensity. You try not to look too closely at the convoys of ambulances that arrive, at the stretchers they carry inside. You keep your eyes on your shovel, on the wood and nails in your hand. But you cannot ignore the human cost. You see the nurses, their faces pale with exhaustion, their uniforms stained. You see the surgeons, their movements quick and precise, but their eyes full of a terrible, ancient sadness. You are ordered not to speak to the wounded, but you see them, men with broken bodies and shattered minds, men who stare at nothing, their eyes seeing things you cannot imagine. You and your comrades work harder than ever before. You dig with a ferocity, as if by digging faster you can somehow alleviate the suffering inside the tents. You build with a precision, as if a perfectly level platform could bring a moment of comfort to a man in agony. One evening, after the work is done, you and Frenchie are sitting behind your tent, watching the sky to the east. The sun has set, but the horizon is not dark. It is alive with a flickering, silent light, a constant, pulsing glow, like heat lightning. It's the artillery fire, illuminating the clouds from below, a silent, terrible aurora borealis. You sit in silence for a long time, watching the ghost fire dance on the horizon. The deep rumble is louder here, a constant companion. Frenchie pulls out his harmonica. His hands are trembling slightly. He puts it to his lips, and he begins to play. He plays a slow, simple melody, a lullaby his mother used to sing to him in the bayous of Louisiana. It's a song of peace, of safety, of a world far, far away from this flickering, rumbling horizon. The music is a small, fragile thing in the face of the immense industrial violence just over the hills. But it is not overwhelmed. The clear, sweet notes of the harmonica create a small circle of peace around you, a sanctuary of sound. It is an act of profound courage to make music in the face of this, to insist on beauty, to insist on gentleness, when the world is offering only ugliness and brutality. A few other men from your unit gather around. Drawn by the music, they sit on the ground, their shoulders touching, and they listen. No one speaks. They just let the music wash over them, a balm for their frayed nerves and troubled souls. The music does not erase the rumbling on the horizon. It does not extinguish the terrible, flickering light. But it allows you to endure it. It reminds you of the part of yourself that is not a soldier, the part that is not a laborer, the part of you that is soft and yearns for peace. You close your eyes. You focus only on the sound of the harmonica. Each note is a prayer. Each breath Frenchie takes is an affirmation of life. You feel the tension in your own body begin to unwind. The tight knot of fear in your stomach loosens its grip. The war is real. The danger is close. But in this moment, held by this music, you are safe. Your spirit is safe. The distant thunder can continue its terrible song, but you have found your own melody, a melody of peace, of resilience, of hope. And as the last note of the lullaby hangs in the cool night air, you feel a sense of calm descend upon you, a deep, quiet peace that the war cannot touch, and you know that tonight you will sleep. You will drift away, carried by that melody, far from the sounds of the front, into a deep and restorative rest. A letter arrives. It's not just a letter, it is a physical piece of home. It has traveled thousands of miles, across the vast ocean, across the muddy fields of France, to find you. The mail call is a moment of sacred anticipation. The sergeant stands on a wooden crate, a canvas bag in his hand, and calls out names. Each name that is called is a small explosion of joy for one man, and a pang of disappointment for the others. Silas John, French Charles, and then he calls your name. Your heart gives a little jump. You walk forward, your hand outstretched. He places the thin, precious envelope in your palm. You don't open it right away. You savor it. You walk away from the crowd to a quiet spot behind the barracks. You sit with your back against the rough wooden planks. You just look at the envelope for a long moment. It is addressed in your mother's familiar, elegant handwriting. The ink is slightly smudged, maybe from rain or maybe from a tear. The paper is soft and worn from its long journey. You hold it to your nose. You imagine you can smell it. The faint, clean scent of the soap she uses. The smell of her kitchen. Carefully, so carefully. You tear open the seal. You slide the folded pages out. The paper feels like a sacred artifact. You begin to read. Her words are a bridge, a magical connection that spans the distance between this world of mud and canvas and the world of brownstones and summer evenings. She tells you the small news of the neighborhood. Mrs. Henderson's daughter got married. The boy who used to deliver the ice has a new job. The piano player down the street has learned a new song. These details are like water to a man dying of thirst. They are so simple, so normal. They are a reminder of a world where the biggest news is a wedding, not a battle. She tells you that your father is proud of you. He carries your picture in his wallet. He reads your letters aloud to the men at his social club. She tells you that she prays for you every night. She asks you to be safe, to be warm, to remember who you are. You are a good man, she writes. You have a good heart. Don't let that place change your heart. You have to stop reading for a moment. A lump has formed in your throat. You look up at the gray French sky, and you see your mother's face. You feel the gentle touch of her hand on your forehead. The love in her words is a physical force. It is a shield. It is a warm blanket that wraps around you, protecting you from the cold, from the fear, from the hardening of your own spirit. Tucked inside the letter is a photograph. It's new. It's a picture of her and your father standing on the stoop of your building. They are dressed in their Sunday best. Your father is standing tall, his hand on your mother's shoulder. He is trying to look stern and proud, but you can see a small smile playing on his lips. Your mother is looking right at the camera, and her smile is full of love, so powerful it feels like it could stop a bullet. You trace their faces with your finger. This small paper rectangle, it is your talisman. It is your most precious possession. You read the letter again, and then a third time. You commit the words to memory. You fold the pages and the photograph back up, and you place them in the inside pocket of your tunic, the pocket right over your heart. You can feel the slight weight of it there, a reassuring pressure. That night, you cannot sleep. The distant rumble of the guns seems louder tonight. The air in the barracks is cold and damp. You lie on your cot, your eyes wide open in the darkness. You feel a familiar ache of homesickness, a deep, hollow feeling in your chest. You miss the small things, the taste of your mother's cooking, the feeling of a real bed, the sound of laughter that isn't tinged with desperation. You reach into your tunic, and you pull out the letter. You can't read it in the dark, but you don't need to. You just hold it. You feel the worn paper, the sharp edges of the photograph inside. You hold this tangible piece of love in your hands. You close your eyes, and you let the memory of your mother's words fill your mind. You picture her writing the letter, sitting at the small kitchen table, the yellow light from the lamp illuminating her face. You remember her final words. Don't let that place change your heart. You take a slow, deep breath, and another. The letter is an anchor. It holds you steady in this sea of uncertainty. It reminds you that you are more than a soldier. You are a son. You are loved. You have a home, a place in the world that is waiting for you. The ache in your chest begins to soften. The cold in the air seems to recede. The rumbling of the guns fades into the background. Your heart, it is not made of paper, but this paper heart, this letter from your mother, it has the power to heal your real one. You feel a sense of peace settle over you, a quiet, profound gratitude. You are not alone in this darkness. You are held by a love that can cross oceans, and with the letter held safely in your hand, you feel your body relax, your mind grow quiet. You are drifting now, drifting home, on a gentle current of love, into a deep and protected sleep. Your regiment has finally been called to the front. The time of labor is over. You have been attached to the French army. A great honor, you are told. They need fighters, and your regiment, the 369th, is ready. You are the Harlem Hellfighters. The world shrinks. It becomes a narrow, muddy trench. The sky is gone, replaced by a thin sliver of gray that you can see above the parapet. The beautiful French countryside is gone, replaced by a nightmarish landscape of mud, tangled barbed wire, and the skeletal remains of trees. The air is thick with the smell of wet earth, cordite, and decay. The sound is a constant, deafening roar. The distant thunder is now a crashing symphony of explosions, the shriek of incoming shells, and the relentless mechanical chatter of machine guns. This world is designed to inspire terror. It is designed to strip away your humanity. But they did not count on the fortress you have already built, a fortress not of sandbags and steel, but of brotherhood. Here, in the mud and the chaos, this fortress becomes your entire world. Your life depends on the man next to you, on Silas, whose steady presence is a rock in the swirling madness, on Frenchie, who can still manage a weak smile and a whispered joke, even when his hands are shaking. You learn a new language, a language of nods and glances, a quick look that says, "Are you okay?" A hand on the shoulder that says, "I'm here." You share everything. A sip of water from your canteen, a dry biscuit, the last precious cigarette. These small acts of generosity are the currency of survival. One night the shelling is particularly bad. The earth shudders with each impact. The wooden beams of the trench roof groan and drop dirt on your helmets. You are huddled together in the dark, trying to make yourselves as small as possible. Fear is a cold metallic taste in your mouth. Your heart is hammering against your ribs. Every muscle in your body is tensed, waiting for the one shell that has your name on it. This is the moment the spirit is supposed to break. But then, someone begins to hum. It's Moses, the man from Alabama, who used to lead the work chants. It's a low, deep hum, barely audible over the roar of the guns. It's a gospel tune, one you all know. I shall not be moved. Another man picks it up, then another. Soon, the whole section of the trench is filled with the low, resonant vibration of the song. You are not singing the words aloud. You are just humming the melody. It is an absurd act, humming a hymn in the middle of an artillery barrage. But it is the most powerful weapon you have. The music does not stop the shells, but it pushes back the fear. It fills the small, dark space with something other than terror. It fills it with faith, with defiance, with the collective, unbreakable spirit of 30 men who refuse to be broken. You close your eyes, and you add your own hum to the chorus. You feel the vibration in your own chest, connecting you to the man next to you, and the man next to him. You are a single organism, a single body, a single soul. The fortress holds. In the quiet moments between the bombardments, you find pockets of life. You huddle around a small, smoky fire in a dugout, a tiny cave carved into the side of the trench. You watch the flames dance, and you tell stories. Not war stories, stories of home. Silas talks about fishing with his father in Lake Michigan. He describes the cool morning air, the gentle lapping of the water against the boat, the silver flash of a fish on the line. As he speaks, you can almost feel the cool air. You can almost smell the water. Frenchy talks about Mardi Gras in New Orleans, the colors, the music, the food. He describes the taste of beignets, heavy with powdered sugar, the sound of a dozen jazz bands all playing at once. He transports you there, to a world of joy and celebration. You talk about Harlem, about the taste of your mother's fried chicken, about the sound of the ragtime piano. These stories are more than memories. They are acts of creation. In this place of death and destruction, you create worlds of life and beauty. You build sanctuaries of the mind. You learn to sleep in short bursts, an hour here, 20 minutes there. You learn to trust the man on watch to keep you safe. You huddle together for warmth. Your body's a bulwark against the cold and the damp. One morning, after a long night of fighting, you are sitting on the fire step, staring blankly at the mud wall in front of you. You are exhausted, physically, mentally, spiritually. You feel empty. Silas sits down next to you. He doesn't say anything. He just reaches into his pack and pulls out the small bruised apple he has been saving for weeks. He takes out his knife, and he carefully cuts it in half. He hands one half to you. You look at the apple, the white flesh, the seeds in the core. It is the most beautiful thing you have ever seen, a small, perfect piece of the natural world, a world you had almost forgotten existed. You take a bite. The sweetness explodes in your mouth. It is the taste of life. You look at Silas. He gives you a small, tired nod. In that moment, you know you will be okay. As long as you have this brotherhood, this quiet, profound love, you cannot be defeated. Your spirit cannot be broken. The fortress of brotherhood is your home now. It is your church. It is your shield. And it is impregnable. You lean your head back against the muddy wall of the trench, and for the first time in days, you feel a sense of peace. You close your eyes, and when you let the exhaustion take you, you fall asleep right there, sitting up, a half-eaten apple in your hand, protected by the unwavering strength of the man beside you. Your sleep is deep and dreamless and safe. The order comes down the line, a whispered command passed from man to man. Tonight you go over the top, a night raid on the enemy trenches. The world becomes very still. The constant roar of the artillery seems to fade, replaced by the sound of your own heart, a frantic drumbeat in your ears. You check your equipment for the 10th time. Your rifle, the cold, heavy weight of the bayonet fixed to its end, the extra ammunition in your pockets, the small serrated trench knife at your belt. You are not a warrior. You are a boy from Harlem who likes piano music. But tonight, you must be a warrior. You look at the faces of the men around you in the flickering candlelight of the dugout. Their eyes are wide. Their jaws are set. You see your own fear reflected back at you. But you also see determination. You see a fierce, protective love for each other. Frenchy comes over to you. He hands you a small carved piece of wood. It's a little bird. He carved it himself during the long, boring hours of watch. For luck, he whispers, his voice hoarse. You take it. The wood is smooth and warm in your trembling hand. You slip it into your pocket. It feels like an anchor. The whistle blows, a high, shrill, unearthly sound. It's time. You scramble up the ladder, and you heave yourself over the parapet into the terrifying open space of no man's land. The world is a chaotic, disorienting dream. The night is lit by the flickering, sickly green light of flares, casting long, dancing shadows. The ground is a treacherous sea of mud and water-filled shell craters. Tangled webs of barbed wire wait to catch you, to hold you. This is not a battle. It is a frantic, desperate dance in the dark. You are running, stumbling, your breath coming in ragged gasps. Your mind is blessedly empty. There is no room for thought, no room for fear. There is only instinct, the instinct to move forward, the instinct to stay with your brothers. You can see Silas to your left, a large, powerful silhouette against the flashing sky. You see Frenchy to your right, small and wiry, but moving with a surprising speed. You do not focus on the enemy ahead. You focus on them, on the men of your company. You are a wave, a single entity moving across this broken land. The noise is overwhelming, a physical assault on your senses. But you find a strange rhythm in it. The thump, thump, thump of your own feet in the mud. The ragged sound of your own breathing. You fall, your knee hitting a rock hidden in the ooze. Pain shoots up your leg. For a second you lie there, the cold mud seeping into your clothes. Panic begins to rise. Then a hand grabs your arm. It's Silas. He holds you to your feet with an impossible strength. He doesn't speak. He just gives you a shove forward. Keep moving. You are at the enemy wire. Men are working frantically with cutters. The sound of snipping wire is a small, hopeful sound in the chaos. A gap is opened. You are through. You leap into the enemy trench. It is a moment of pure, primal collision. The world becomes a blur of dark shapes, of shouts in a language you don't understand, of desperate, close-quarters struggle. You are not fighting for France. You are not fighting for America. You are fighting for the man next to you. You are fighting to protect Silas, to protect Frenchie, to protect the humming choir in the dugout. Your movements are automatic. The endless drills at Camp Wadsworth take over your body. Parry, thrust, move. It is over in moments, though it feels like a lifetime. The trench is yours. There is a sudden, shocking silence, broken only by the groans of the wounded and the heavy gasping breaths of the survivors. You lean against the wall of the captured trench, your whole body trembling with adrenaline. You look around, taking a frantic inventory of your friends. Silas is there, leaning on his rifle, his head bowed. Frenchie is there, sitting on the ground, his face pale but his eyes bright. You are all here. You have all made it through the fire. You look at each other. There are no words. There is only a shared look of profound, staggering relief. You have faced the worst the world could throw at you. And you have survived. Together. The fear is gone now, burned away by the intensity of the last few minutes. In its place is a strange, quiet calm, a clarity. You have walked through the valley of the shadow of death. And you are not the same man who went in. You are harder, yes, but you are also stronger. Your spirit has been tested by the ultimate fire, and it has not broken. It has been forged into something new, something tempered and unbreakable. You reach into your pocket, and your fingers close around the small wooden bird. It is still there, still whole. You look out over the dark, shattered landscape. The flares have died down. The guns have fallen silent for a moment. In the quiet, you can feel the steady, reassuring presence of your brothers around you. You have danced in the dark, and you have survived. And you know with a certainty that settles deep in your bones that you can survive anything. Your body is exhausted, but your spirit is calm. You slide down the wall of the trench until you are sitting in the mud. You close your eyes, and in this place of violence and death, you find a moment of peace, and you sleep. A deep, heavy, restorative sleep, the sleep of a survivor. The war is turning. The great German offensive has been broken, and now the tide is rolling back. Your regiment, the Hellfighters, has been at the forefront of the fighting for 191 days, longer than any other American unit. You have not been broken. You have not given up a single foot of ground. You have become legends. The fighting subsides, and you are pulled back from the front lines. You march through the French countryside again, but this time, it's different. You are not faceless laborers anymore. You are not just anonymous soldiers. You are heroes. You march into a small French village, a village that was occupied by the enemy just a few days before. The buildings are damaged, scarred by shell fire, but the people are there. They line the narrow street as you march in. At first, they are quiet, their faces a mixture of exhaustion, relief, and caution. They have seen so much suffering. But then, as your whole regiment fills the town square, something shifts. An old woman steps forward, and she begins to clap, a slow, steady rhythm. Then a man joins her, then a child. Soon the entire village is applauding. The sound echoes off the stone walls of the buildings. It is a sound of pure, unadulterated gratitude, They begin to cheer. Vive l'Amérique! Vivons les soldats! They surge forward. People press flowers into your hands. Daisies, poppies, wildflowers picked from the fields. A woman offers you a piece of bread, fresh from her oven. It's still warm. An old man, his eyes shining with tears, grabs your hand and shakes it, babbling in rapid, joyful French. You look at the faces around you. You see no prejudice, no suspicion. You see only joy and respect. They are looking at you. They are seeing you as their saviors. This feeling, it is overwhelming. It is a healing balm on the raw wounds of the last few months. All the disrespect you have endured, all the times you were made to feel invisible, it all washes away in this tidal wave of human warmth. You look at Silas, and there are tears running down his face. He is not trying to hide them. Frenchie is laughing, a real joyful laugh that you haven't heard in months. You are no longer the 369th Infantry. You are les enfants perdus, the lost children the French had called you at first. But now you have a new name. You are the Men of Bronze. You are invited to a celebration in the town square. Tables are brought out. The villagers share what little they have. Wine is poured. Someone starts playing an accordion. The French soldiers you fought alongside, they clap you on the back. They share their wine with you. They try to teach you French songs. You try to teach them the blues. There is much laughter and confusion. The language barrier doesn't matter. Tonight, you all speak the language of survival, the language of victory. Frenchie takes out his harmonica. He begins to play a lively, upbeat ragtime tune. A French soldier with an accordion joins in. The two of them, a black man from New Orleans and a white man from rural France. They find a common rhythm. They create a new kind of music, a sound of joy and newfound peace. Some of the men from your company begin to dance. So do the villagers. Soon the whole square is a swirling, laughing mass of people. Black American soldiers and white French civilians, dancing together under the stars. You don't dance, you just stand at the edge of the square, leaning against a wall, and you watch. You take it all in. The music, the laughter, the flowers, the chorus of gratitude. You burn this moment into your memory. This is what you were fighting for, not for a flag, not for a piece of land, but for this, for the moment when one human being looks at another and sees only their shared humanity. You feel a profound sense of peace settle over you, a peace that is deep and true. The war is not over, but tonight it feels like it is. Tonight there is only life and music and the beautiful healing power of gratitude. You feel the exhaustion of the last 6 months in every bone of your body. But it is a good exhaustion. You have done your duty. You have been seen. You have been honored. You find a quiet corner, away from the celebration. You lie down on a pile of soft hay in an abandoned barn. The sounds of the party, the music and the laughter, drift in through the open door. They are the most beautiful lullaby you have ever heard. Your heart is full. Your spirit is at peace. You close your eyes and you let the sounds of joy carry you away into the deepest, most restful sleep you have ever known. The rumors of the armistice have been swirling for days. And then, one cold, clear November morning, it is official. The war is over. A strange, profound silence falls over the world. The guns are still. After months, years of constant noise, the quiet is deafening. It feels sacred, holy. The journey home is the reverse of the journey out, but you are not the same men who crossed this ocean before. You have seen the best and the worst of humanity. You have endured hardship and terror. You have forged bonds that can never be broken. You are the men of bronze. You wear the Croix de Guerre, the highest honor of the French military, pinned to your chests. You have earned it. The voyage back across the Atlantic is different. The mood is not one of fearful anticipation, but of quiet, thoughtful reflection. You stand on the deck of the ship, leaning on the same railing you leaned on before. You watch the coast of France disappear into the mist. You are leaving a part of yourself behind in that soil. But you are also carrying a part of it with you. The memory of the cheers, the taste of the wine, the feeling of being seen as a hero. The ocean is calm, A vast, gray, undulating plain. The sky is soft and overcast. The ship cuts through the water. A steady, determined path towards home. You spend hours just staring at the horizon. That clean, perfect line between water and sky. It represents the future. A future you have fought for. A future you have earned the right to help shape. You know that the fight is not over. You know that the home you are returning to is not the same as the village that cheered for you. The injustices you left behind will still be there. The struggle for true freedom, for true equality, will continue. But you are different. You are stronger. You have looked into the abyss, and you have not flinched. You have proven to the world, and more importantly to yourself, what you are made of. You are a survivor, a hero, a man. The old fears, the old limitations, they seem smaller now. You have seen the world. You have been tested by fire. You have a new confidence, a quiet, powerful sense of your own worth that no one can take away from you. You think of your family, of walking up the steps of your brownstone, of the smell of your mother's cooking, of the firm, proud handshake of your father. The thought fills you with a deep, warm longing. One afternoon, as you are standing on the deck, lost in thought, Silas comes and stands beside you. You stand in comfortable silence for a long time, just watching the waves. "What are you going to do when you get back?" Silas asks, his voice low. You think for a moment. "I don't know," you say honestly. "Everything feels different now." "Yeah," Silas says. "I know what you mean." He pauses. "But whatever it is, we'll do it. We've earned that right." You nod. He's right. The journey is long. The days blend into one another. You sleep, you talk, you listen to Frenchie's harmonica, which sounds less mournful now and more hopeful. You watch the endless sea, and then, one morning, a cry goes up from the lookout. "Land ho!" You all rush to the railings, and there it is, a faint, hazy smudge on the western horizon. America, home. A complex wave of emotions washes over you. Joy, relief, pride, and a little bit of apprehension. The ship sails into New York Harbor. You pass the Statue of Liberty, a silent green giant welcoming you home. You have seen her before, but seeing her now in this uniform, with the Croix de Guerre on your chest, it's different. You feel like you have a claim on her promise now. The ship will dock tomorrow. Tonight is your last night on this vessel. Your last night as a soldier in a foreign land. Tomorrow a new chapter begins. You stay on the deck as the sun sets behind the silhouette of the city. The lights of New York begin to twinkle to life, a vast, glittering carpet of diamonds. It is the most beautiful sight you have ever seen. You feel a profound sense of peace. The journey is complete. You have come full circle. But the circle is a spiral. You are returning to the same place, but you are on a higher level. You are not the boy who left this city. You are a man who has been forged in the crucible of history. You carry the memory of the mud, but also the memory of the cheers. You carry the brotherhood. You carry the unbreakable spirit. The gentle rocking of the ship in the calm harbor is a soothing, final lullaby. You feel the weariness of the long journey in your bones, a deep, satisfying tiredness. Your work is done. Your duty is complete. You have earned your rest. You close your eyes, and you let the gentle motion of the ship and the distant, familiar hum of your city carry you into a deep and profound sleep. A sleep of peace, a sleep of homecoming, a hero's sleep. Sleep now. Sleep deep. You are home.